The concept of devolution formed a key pillar of the Kenya's 2010 constitution, seeking to bring governance closer to the people by making county governments the center of political power, as well as decentralizing economic resources to Kenyans at the grassroots. 8 years since the implementation of this decentralized system of government, has it worked? Dr. Kenneth Ombongi is a governance expert and senior lecturer at the University of Nairobi. He argues that devolution has presented a major transformation of the country, bringing robust grassroots development.
There were areas that, did not see any major development in the provision of healthcare and many of those social services. But thanks to devolution, you begin to have a feeling that something is happening. The local level involvement in making certain decisions that touch on local level development is happening.
The year 2021, however, saw the devolved units still grapple with fundamental challenges, including irregular or delayed disbursement of devolved funds from the National Exchequer, inadequate financial resources, corruption, stalled projects, huge pending bills, bloated workforce, skyrocketing debt, challenges that risk negating the progress made so far.
When it comes to issues of political governance, we exported the very bad habits that we see at the national level to the local level. When we talk about ethnicity at the national level as a key determinant of our politics, in the local levels you find clanism and some elements of ethnicity in much more cosmopolitan counties. So, in other words, what we have at the county level is actually a microcosm of the politics that we have at the national level.
While appreciating the fact that delayed disbursement and underfunding of counties presented a major problem, he points out the issues of misallocation and mismanaging of the scarce resources.
In the side of development and the utilization of funds that are devolved to the counties is probably the same thing. To put it in a much more popular way, it appears to me that the very interesting habits that inform government expenditure at the national level, characterized with rampant corruption as it were actually exported down to the counties.
Dr. Ombongi also believes that the wanton corruption experienced at the devolved units must be urgently tamed.
What is required to really deal with what one could call the cancer of corruption at the county level, just like at the national government, is to, one, allow latitude, provide the latitude for independent constitutional bodies that are meant to actually fight and prevent corruption to function without any undue interference from any quarters. I have in mind the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, which I know that has established offices within the county headquarters around the country. I have in mind the judiciary. I have in mind the investigative agencies of the government, the CID, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
The year 2021 also saw the country intensify its war against the deadly COVID-19, which proved not only to be a health but an economic crisis. With many people losing their jobs and businesses shutting down, many counties reported low revenue collection, paralyzing service delivery. And even with the county's COVID-19 socio-economic re-engineering recovery strategy, which was launched in 2020 in place, the implementation faced a myriad of challenges.
Tupongeze kazi nzuri iliyofanywa na magavana wetu.
With health being a devolved function, these financial hitches thwarted the efforts put in place by the county governments in fighting COVID-19 that was fast spreading in the community. These were the scenes witnessed early this year. scenes that almost put to a standstill the health sector at a time when the country was dealing with an invisible enemy, COVID-19. Health workers went on strike to demand personal protective equipment and medical insurance as the disease took a toll on them.
Tulikuwa na watu wengi ambao wanafanya kazi hawalipwi. Mishahara inacheleweshwa hata miezi 3. Wengine walifukuzwa kazi, kama wengine walikuwa wamefukuzwa kule Kisii na wengine kule Kirinyaga. Haya ni mambo ambayo tulikuwa tunaongelea, na pia tulikuwa tunajinunulia vifaa vya kujikinga, lakini pia tupewi pesa na serikali.
And as the curtain closes on the year 2021, stakeholders still believe that more needs to be done to ensure accessibility and affordability of quality healthcare for all.
15% ya bajeti yao mzima ikawekea afya. Ndio ukiwekea zile pesa, kwa sababu pesa ni kila kitu. Utaweza kuajiri wahudumu wa afya wa kutosha, utaweza kununua vifaa vya kutosha na vya kisasa. Utaweza kutengeneza hospitali mingi kuhakikisha kila mtu wako karibu na pahali hospitali yake ipo. Na utaweza pia kuhakikisha unatoa mafunzo ya hali ya juu na hata ile ya specialist, ndio kusikue hata na watu wanatoka nchini wanaenda kwingine kutibiwa kama vile tunaona watu wakienda India.
The 7th Annual Devolution Conference, which was initially scheduled to be held from the 23rd to 26th of August 2021, was pushed forward to November 23rd to 26th, 2021. The forum, which was hosted in Wote, Makueni County, under the theme Multi-Level Governance for Climate Action, saw the county bosses and other stakeholders commit to support grassroots initiatives for combating climate change. In his speech, which he delivered virtually, President Uhuru Kenyatta affirmed Kenya's commitment to reduce the negative impact of climate change.
I note with much appreciation that 33 county governments have developed county-specific laws on climate change, and that a few of them are providing strong leadership on this agenda.
At least finally, we had a chance where the lowest governance structure in our country, which are counties, talking about this important subject of climate change. And it is critical that it came soon after what happened in Glasgow, when the world was really focusing and talking about the direction we are taking as humanity towards actually preventing what is likely to be a disaster in the waiting.
The annual event will from next year be held once every 2 years instead of yearly, as has been the case for the last 6 years, in what the Council of Governors says is meant to allow governors to fully implement resolutions. This was the last Devolution Conference under President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration and the current second-term governors. So what impact will this have on the implementation of the resolutions?
This can be good or bad for counties, because some governors will want to micromanage the situation to determine who succeeds them, so that he can cover a few things that they did which they may not want anybody to know. That will be tragic if it is happening. But I'm sure, given who we are, it could be happening. Secondly, some governors, when you look at them, are angling to become very strong power brokers and to determine the direction, not just county politics, but national politics, in a way of trying to see what is there next for them.
2021 also saw Nairobi County get a new sheriff.
I, Kenneth, do swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people of the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Governor of Nairobi City County.
Anne Kananu was sworn in to replace Mike Mbuvi Sonko. Kananu too facing turbulence on her first days in office. Her attempts to appoint a deputy blocked by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission on integrity grounds.
Arambe!
And as the country edges closer to the 2022 general election, and a majority of the second-term governors weighing their options, we can only hope that the transition will not present yet another quagmire for the devolved units. For the 2021 end-year review, I am Safin Aching Ouma.